If you look around today, we are just completely surrounded by instant information.
Oh, absolutely, everywhere.
Right. Quick answers, life hacks, um, shortcuts to basically everything. But we often really lack true insight.
We do. We're drowning in data, but starving for actual wisdom.
Exactly. So what if real wisdom is actually a hidden treasure? Something that demands an active, intentional hunt. Welcome to this deep dive.
Glad to be here.
Today, our mission is to explore the ancient wisdom found in Proverbs chapter 2. We're going to summarize these really powerful ancient teachings, look at their modern applications, and then, and this is the core of it, explore how this knowledge can profoundly strengthen your actual trust and relationship with God.
Which is such an essential journey to take.
It is.
Because what we're going to reveal in this deep dive is how wisdom actively shapes your character. It protects your judgment, and ultimately, it really guides you toward a deeply stable life.
Okay, let's unpack this. The chapter kicks off with this really intense, escalating series of verbs in the first 4 verses.
It does. It sets a very specific tone.
Yeah, it establishes this conditional pattern, these if-then statements.
Right.
To get wisdom, it says you have to receive words, incline thine ear, apply thine heart, and then even cry after knowledge.
It's physical. It's demanding.
It really is, and it uses this great analogy. Seeking wisdom is like hunting for silver or hid treasures.
Right, which means it's an active hunt.
Not just passive listening. You can't just, put Proverbs on in the background while you fold laundry and expect to instantly become wise.
No, not at all. You have to dig.
Yeah.
And applying that to modern life is crucial.
How so?
Well, think about your career. Hunting for wisdom means looking at the long-term impact of your decisions, not just grabbing at immediate rewards.
Right, the shiny object in the room.
Exactly. In leadership, it requires deep reflection. It's not just about rapid action or reacting to the latest email. It's deliberate.
So if you put in all that deliberate effort, the text gives us the outcome in verses 5 through 8.
The payoff.
Right. It says, "Then shalt thou understand the fear of the Lord, because God is the ultimate giver of wisdom." It literally says, out of his mouth comes knowledge.
What's fascinating here is how that completely contrasts with our modern culture.
Oh, yeah.
Completely. Because today we tend to separate intelligence from morality.
We treat them like 2 totally different things.
We really do. You can have a highly educated person, someone who is brilliant on paper, who still makes incredibly destructive, unethical choices.
We see it in the news every day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But God's wisdom integrates knowledge with ethical character. You can't separate the two in this framework.
Which makes it so much more robust, and I love the enthusiasm the text has for the moment that actually happened.
Or verses 9 through 15.
Yes. When wisdom enters the heart and knowledge becomes, as it says, pleasant unto thy soul.
It's a shift. It goes from being hard work to being a natural joy.
Yeah, it becomes part of who you are. And once that happens, it offers this amazing protection. It says it delivers you from the evil man who speaks froward things and walks in ways of darkness.
And that discernment is so vital for you today.
Because there's a lot of froward things out there.
So many. In a modern context, this discernment helps you evaluate misleading media information.
Oh, absolutely.
It helps you resist unethical business shortcuts. It even helps you spot manipulative friendships. You can see through the darkness, so to speak.
Here's where it gets really interesting, though, because it moves from the evil man to another very specific warning.
The warning against this strange woman in verses 16 through 22.
Yes. Someone who flatters with words and forgets the covenant of her God. And it says her paths lead to the dead. It's very stark.
Extremely stark. But we have to clarify, this isn't just about romantic temptation.
Right.
It symbolizes any seductive choice that promises you short-term gratification but ultimately brings long-term ruin.
Like an unethical financial decision.
Exactly. Or addictive behaviors, anything that flatters your ego but pulls you away from what's true.
And the text gives us the ultimate outcome of all this. The upright will dwell in the land, while the transgressors will be rooted out.
It's about ultimate stability versus total collapse.
Yeah. And I want to pivot here because we've covered the fast-paced summary of the mechanics.
The 4 movements.
Right. But for the second half of this deep dive, let's slow down a bit. Let's look at the spiritual implications.
I think that's where the real beauty of this text lies.
Me too. There's this beautiful detail back in verse 7 that I want to bring up. It says, God is a buckler to them that walk uprightly.
A buckler, not just a generic shield.
Right. Why does that specific word matter so much?
Because trusting God means trusting his ethical structure for creation. A buckler is a small shield used in active close combat.
You have to actually wield it.
You do.
Huh.
When we follow his good paths, righteousness, judgment, equity, we aren't just memorizing rules. We are relying on his active protection.
So we're participating in it.
Exactly. As the text says, he preserveth the way of his saints.
Yeah.
He's actively shielding you as you walk in him.
Which brings up a really reflective question for you listening right now. Think about this. How does knowing that wisdom comes directly from God's mouth change the way you approach your daily decisions?
It has to change everything.
It really does. It's not just a self-help book.
No, it shifts your entire relationship with him.
Yeah.
When you realize he is the source, you stop relying solely on your own intellect.
Which is exhausting anyway.
Very. Instead, you start actively seeking his moral insight. And doing that builds intimacy.
Because you have to interact with him to get it.
Exactly. You have to humbly, as the text says, lift up your voice for understanding. You have to ask.
And that requires vulnerability.
It does. It requires you to say, I don't have all the answers, but I trust the one who does.
I love that. And it ties back to the warning we talked about earlier.
This raises an important question, actually. If we look back at verse 17, the destructive path of the strange woman is defined by something very specific.
Right, that she forgetteth the covenant of her God.
Yes, forgetting the covenant, forgetting the relationship.
That's the root of the downfall. Not just breaking a rule, but forgetting the relationship entirely.
Precisely. And in today's world, honoring our relationship with God is the very anchor that keeps us from being swept away.
Because there are so many modern social pressures that try to normalize harmful behaviors.
Constant pressure. Pressure to conform, pressure to compromise your integrity, just to fit in or get ahead.
But remembering that covenant, remembering who God is and what he promises, that keeps you grounded.
It really does. Trusting God leads to ultimate stability. It's what allows you to, as the proverb says, dwell securely in the land.
So what does this all mean if we step back and look at everything we've uncovered today?
There's a lot to take in.
It is. But let's recap it. Wisdom is not just some abstract philosophy that you memorize.
No.
It requires your intentional, active effort. You have to mine for it.
Digging for silver.
Exactly. And it perfectly integrates factual knowledge with deep morality. It shapes how you judge situations, and ultimately, it is the thing that secures your path in life.
And we have to remember that trusting in God as the source of this wisdom is the ultimate antidote to the anxiety of our modern world.
It really is an anxious world, so complex and misleading.
Very much so. But by seeking him, you find the knowledge of God itself. You find that buckler, that active protection.
You find clarity.
Yes.
Well, we've explored the map. We've looked at the incredible value of what Proverbs chapter 2 offers. But a map is only useful if you actually walk the path.
The active pursuit.
Right. So I'll leave you with this. How will you apply this information in your life?